Couldn't look away from the train wreck. You can blame it on the tech, on the disrespect. Point and play, you better button check. Button check.
What is up, Button Check family? Welcome back to yet again a beautiful day of checking these buttons. We definitely gonna try to hit it earlier today than we have been, but either way, we are here. Chapters down below if you want to skip around. Sub button right there. As always, we got a hot ass topic that just broke a few hours ago. So without further ado, let's go. All right, now into the first set of Harada. Does the Tekken devs even know what they want with Season 2? And I hope you fired some of their asses, buttons that need to be checked. So the mighty Harada-san has spoken just a few hours ago by the time I'm recording this morning, once again, which happens to be Thursday. He spoke in length and actually answered a lot of the questions that were weighing heavily on the FGC's mind. So we're gonna unpack it step by step. Let's go. Okay, so unpacking it right here with Nee. Now this is a lengthy one, I'm not gonna read it all, but you get the gist. He says Season 2 has a lot of homing and following up attacks. Some character stacks are too powerful. Why do we keep making it harder to play defense? Honestly, there are so many homing attacks that it's getting harder to play like a true 3D game. Activating heat and stance feels awkward. Some characters have to be played almost like spam. The size of maps doesn't really matter. I don't understand why heat recovery for some characters, or why heat recovery for some characters. Meanwhile, other characters consume heat so quickly that it disappears almost instantly. I think these things lower overall quality of the fighting game. I don't want to speak negatively about the game, but this is very stressful to play, hard to enjoy. Then Harada actually responds to that saying, I have confirmed my perception of this matter with the battle and tuning teams. They seem to understand your frustrations and are working to improve, so please give them a little more time. But he doesn't stop there. He adds saying, my post was a bit wordy on this matter. To be precise, the battle and tuning team has submitted the first ROMs to fix for this, and the phase of it will be introduced in May for updates. So the first phase of this will be introduced in the May update. Furthermore, after that, there will be another update in June that will be related to the defense side of the game. Then this is where it gets even deeper. Others respond to that saying, Harada, honestly, does the team even know what they want with Tekken 8? Every new patch seems like a new experiment. The disconnect between the player base and development team is worrying. And Harada responds to that saying, 8 was challenging in some aspects with a new team for battle and tuning, but we have returned to the team structure for the new members, to the members of the past. In addition, director Nakatsu, who we all know and love, is now able to check and approve all tuning details. He was short on time as the general manager, but now he gives final approval for every detail of battle and tuning. As you all know, he originally comes from the fan community and as a writer of game magazines and strategy articles, and was also in charge of battling and tuning for Tag 2 and 7, so I don't think there's anything to worry about in the future. But I see other members of the FGC responding saying, you don't need members of the past, you outright need an entire new team, including you. Murray and Nakatsu, the identity of Tekken has gone down the toilet because of your arrogance and greed. Holy shit, that's the first time I actually read that one. But Harada responds to that saying, so what happened with the new team? Also, I already know that you don't need me much longer. I've been trying to resolve this for the last few years, so wait. Damn, that's actually surprising to me. Usually a statement like that, talking about you don't need the past members, you need a whole new team, you guys don't know what you're doing with your greed and your arrogance. Usually Harada would be on some don't ask me for shit, pop off type of vibe, but this was much more, what do you call it? Much more gentle. You know what I'm saying? Like a little softer than we're used to Harada responding. He just responded saying, so what happened with that team? Y'all get that drift. And also, I already know you don't need me much longer. Trying to resolve this for the last few years, so wait. But I noticed others respond to that underneath saying, don't leave the game direction, Harada. You add a necessity essence to Tekken that will be sorely missed if you are gone. Please do not let the loud Twitter minority get on you on this matter or get to you on this matter. He responds saying, but that's the way the world works. The world is quiet around me when I have a good title evaluation, but when I have a bad evaluation, I am called greedy or arrogance. I understand this because I've experienced it several times before. That's the way it is. They respond saying, life is unfair, Harada, I understand. That being said, those that truly value you for your life's hard work and dedication would truly deeply be wounded if they felt you left Tekken not on your own accord and volition, but due to pressure from online mob in today's day and age. You deserve more. Then others add to this as well, saying, this is what pisses me off the most about every fighting game community. They only love you while you satisfy them. Once they are upset about something, decides of life work and legacy becomes meaningless to them. No respect for decades of your work. Harada actually responds again saying, but that's how the world works. What makes a little different on other genres is that, for example, single player RPGs have constant ratings from the time of release, but competitive games, statistically speaking, have a much different rating later on, depending on the time of the year. That's the difficult part. Then FGC responds to that as well, put some quick responses saying, please never quit, thanks. Tekken needs Harada, and nah, Harada, you will always have my respect for what you have brought to life. And then wrapping it up right here, I believe it was on that tweet where Harada was talking about, I think my response was a bit wordy. Somebody posted this saying, fix Lee or we riot. Others say, be normal for real. They kind of just clap back at that. Others say please, you fucking troglodyte. He says, lovely thing to say, thank you. So it kind of goes back and forth. You already know some people are going to feel some type of way from somebody saying, fix Lee or we riot. But Harada actually responds to that, keeping it simple, saying the battle team is working on that too. That is it. And there you have it. Now, it's not completely done because more FGC is responding, getting like quote retweet screenshots right here where they're saying what Harada said, 8 was challenging, but in some aspects with new team for battle and tuning, we have returned to the team structure. Right here, they respond to that saying no disrespect, but I hope they all got fired. Going on to the next one, they say, all right, so they actually did get fired right here when it says, so that's what happened with the new team. And then going deeper, I think I even see, Inconsiderate Raccoon saying, yeah, they definitely fired they ass. And then wrapping it up with King J saying, don't make one voice speak for a large majority. We don't want you to be replaced. We just want Tekken 8 to be fixed. And there you have it. All right, y'all, so how you feeling, man? Getting deeper. This is super transparent. Some are saying that they don't think that the team was fired. They just say Harada is like low-key just telling us where to look if it keeps being a shit show. Like, this is actually what's happening. But a lot of people, as you can see, believe, nah, it looks like he was definitely insinuating that that team was let go, as a lot of the community are like, well, they should have been. But how do you feel about all that other stuff, man, where people are like, talking about, I think that's where there's so much disconnect on both sides, right? On both sides. But when it comes to the Harada side, as far as like the way people are responding, it looks like, and I've said this on many videos, not to be a glazer or anything like that, but before this happened, I've always said that Harada seems like the dev of the people. He goes out of his way to respond to us, to talk to us on social media. He's a fucking character, and he shows up to so many damn tournaments. So in that sense, it does, I'm not gonna lie, it does make me feel some type of way when I see him trying, because it's not just him at the end of the day. He's telling us what's going on, and somebody responds saying, you're greedy, or you need to go, you also need to be fired. This is bullshit. It just seems super disrespectful. That's the way it comes off to me. Because it's obvious that some firing, I mean, from what we're seeing, has already been done, or some demotion, something has already been done. So at this point, I mean, it just feels like insult to injury, like kicking somebody when they're down. Does it not? Let me know if you guys agree or disagree with that. And it almost reads like a different spirit, if that makes any sense, from Harada, from what we're used to seeing, when he says, also, I already know you don't need me much longer. I've been trying to resolve this for the last few years, so wait. It's almost like he's already planning his exit. I mean, he's already been doing this for so long. He's trying, it looks like they already tried to do that in a sense with this, tried to pass the torch, but it didn't really go so well. They're like, shit, we gotta reorganize, maybe we not ready to pass this damn torch. Blow out the torch, we ain't ready to pass that shit. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta remember, it just might seem hella frustrating, because how frustrating would it be for him to like slowly be passing this torch, already planning his exit, maybe not today or tomorrow, but maybe in a couple years, and then this happens. You don't want to leave on this note. How could you have such a glorious career and all of a sudden fucking the biggest blow up of your career? You can't exit on that. At least I should say you don't want to exit on something like that. So it might be super depressing. I could only imagine the frustration that they're going through. And like I said, I'm not just choosing the dev side, because I already know the community is frustrated as hell. They're like, so much disconnect, so much disrespect. Y'all are not listening. What the hell is going on with this game?
This is Harada speaking to his impending retirement. He said he wanted to retire after Tekken 9, and he's really trying to structure the company in a way to where when he leaves, the ship continues. They don't hit any icebergs. This is important because, you know, Harada can't do it forever. He's like almost about to be like 60. And I think at a certain point in time, you just retire and you just be proud that you were able to make this franchise last 30 years, and it's one of the oldest running video games. Now, whether or not the next generation can carry it, you can't really control that. All you can do is try to structure them, teach them, and position them to carry the gauntlet. And I mean, I know Nakatsu gets a lot of flack, but say what you will about him, but I know there's people who say Tekken Tag Tournament 2 is the best Tekken. He had a big role in that. I know there's people who say Tekken 7 is one of the best Tekkens. He had a role in that, right? So no matter which of the two you look at, Nakatsu has proven that he can do it. It's just that they just lost their vision, in my opinion.
So all I'm trying to say is, all in all, on both sides of the fence, you got frustrated and disappointed people anywhere you look. So that's pretty much the update for now. But not only that, Tekken actually released just yesterday, or Bandai I should say, right here, they just posted this saying starts tomorrow with EVO Japan in Tokyo, which would be today. Check out the tournaments happening around the world this year. Get ready for the next battle. And I believe this is the Tekken World Tour. It is starting today in EVO Japan. We won't play the whole trailer or anything like that, but yeah, they made this announcement. And at the same time, Harada made these statements. So it's gonna keep moving forward, and it seems like there could be hope. We don't know, like Maximilian and a lot of the other guys said, like, we believe there's still hope because it's only season 2. It might take a whole nother season to fix it though. How y'all feeling? Let me know. That it is, ladies and gents. Definitely let me know how you are feeling. Thank you guys for tuning in one more time. Hopefully this one gets out earlier. I know I've been kind of behind posting later in the day, but either way, we plan to see you tomorrow, so hope to see you guys there. And as always, I don't know what it is, but I know somehow it's about to get better. Love y'all, fella. Peace. Blah, blah, blah. Subscribe.
I am very upset. I'm very upset. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up and sit your head down. And don't ask me for shit, okay? Okay, guys.